Alex, can you just move the cursor off the
But
screen?
is it a business? Am I gonna click something?
No,
No.
don't worry about it.
Okay. All right, so BTW, whenever you're ready.
Drowsiness is a sign that you are already falling asleep. All day, sleep-inducing chemicals have been building up in your brain, and they'll eventually send you to sleep. You may think you can fight it, but you have no conscious control over when sleep happens, or where it happens.
Statistically speaking, drowsy driving is just as bad, if not worse, than drunk driving. In a survey that our group took, 79% of the people that responded admitted that they drive drowsy. Now, this reports to 100,000 police-reported crashes each year, 6,000 of which are fatal. Because of this, there's over $12.5 billion worth of damage as a result each year, which brings us to our solution. We are Behind the Wheel Technology. My name is Anthony Bocabella. This is Greg Van Hollen, Isabel Maselli, Morgan Kelly, and Francesca Giancola. Now, taking a look at our CAD design here, this is what we envision our product to be like. These red dots represent our heart rate monitors. Now, our steering wheel cover is looking for an 8% drop in heart rate, known as the first stage of sleep, called microsleep. Now, this stage of sleep occurs when you're extremely drowsy, in which your mind is technically asleep, but your body is physically awake, which can cause anywhere of 3 to 30 seconds of unawareness behind the wheel. Now, as well as the CAD design here that we have, this was made by group member Greg. I have a physical product here. Now, this is just a rough draft. This is how it works. You won't actually need to have your fingers in those heart rate monitors. We'll have strategically placed electrodes around the wheel, electrodes being more sensitive heart rate monitors.
So currently our only competition is these luxury vehicles, and they're trying to implement this same technology into their vehicles. Now, in order to get this technology, you have to buy a whole new car, and these luxury cars often cost very much. Nissan is the biggest company that's trying to work on this because they're very committed to the idea. Another one of our competitors is the autonomous vehicle, and according to many experts, these cars won't be on the road in mass numbers for many years, so that's not really one of our massive competitors, but there's something to keep in our back of our heads. Based on our survey, current solutions are coffee, blasting the AC, and turning up the music. Turning up the music is very dangerous because you can't hear anything outside the car, so yeah. So our customer segments are truck drivers because they often drive 14 hours or more, and that is very dangerous, and they're very susceptible to falling asleep. Another one of our customer segments is parents of teens ages 16 to 18. And teens are very susceptible to falling asleep when they're on the way home from school or driving home from a party late at night. So the parents are usually very worried about their kids falling asleep. The parents of the kids also buy this for their kids, but also buy it for themselves because oftentimes they fall asleep at the wheel as well.
So our initial hope going into the MVP was to create a prototype. However, we were having some difficulties finding and validating the manufacturing costs and/or finding a manufacturer who could even build a product that we were asking for. And the majority of the year, we had a lack of support and commitment from our mentor, and we are very fortunate to have Carl Frecht join our team and kind of like guide us the rest of the way. But that being said, we kind of changed our direction from the prototype to research and product development. We first created a promotional video which essentially stated the problem, demonstrated how we would use our product, and then we sent out that video on a Facebook survey, which we received 260 responses on, and so we were very successful with that survey. The survey also said how, the survey kind of validated who has the problem. So men and women ages 35 through 55 have this problem and are like the majority of our customer segment, aside from truck drivers who we had some difficulty connecting to truck drivers and reaching out to them. So currently our primary customer segment is men and women, aged parents. So With that being said, they also said that instead of vibration to sound, they would prefer an alarm. So 53% said that they would prefer an alarm. So that being said, we made that adjustment to our PMC as well.
So our total addressable market is $34.8 billion, and that accounts for every registered car in the United States. Our total serviceable market at $6.1 million is just the Midwest region, so states that are touching Illinois. And our market share is households in the Midwest that have internet and computer accessibility. Taking a look at our 5-year model, in years 1 and 2, as you can see, our numbers are very small, and that is because we will be selling online only and marketing at a more local, with more local tactics just because of budgeting reasons. Entering year 3, we plan on pursuing sales in retail markets, and in years 4 and 5, we plan on marketing to a more national market. Using cost plus pricing, we totaled at $145 per unit. All of our materials are polyurethane, which is a faux leather, the electrode heart rate monitors, an Arduino microchip, and the alarm piece and labor costs. All of this coming to $67.12 with a profit of $77.88 at a gross margin of 53.7%.
We are asking for $39,000 in exchange for 7.5% equity. This is because we have a post-money valuation of $523,000. We plan to exit year 5 by selling to Nissan because, as Greg said earlier, they are the most invested in preventing drowsy driving. By selling to Nissan, we will have a money multiple of 9.4 times, which means your investment of $39,000 will turn into $350,000. Also, we have a high R&R of 57.5%, which means you, the investors, will get your money back faster. Here's the breakdown of our $39,000 and uses for our money. So we will not be profitable from day 1. We will probably plan to start selling in month 3. So we'll need around a $3,000 net loss cushion. And we'll have a liquidity cushion of $4,000. Some other things is we'll need a provisional patent, so it's cheaper than a real patent, and we can tweak our design if necessary before actually getting the real one. We will also need an inventory of 33 units, and this number was based on our surveys. We took a small percent that we think we can get in year 1. Or month 1, sorry. And also, we'll need insurance just because we are a safety problem or product, and we'll need to make sure that we cannot get sued in case our product gets failed, and for other safety measures. Going into research and development, that is probably one of our biggest costs, is because since we don't have a lot of answers for engineering, we'll have to dedicate a lot of that money to finding an engineer and building our product. And then once we have it built, we need to make sure it is tested so it is safe for our consumers to use. And we'll need to promote our product so that once we are up and running, we do get those first couple sales. So our main targets will be doing local marketing, such as cruise nights around Barrington and other areas, putting up local flyers in places that have a lot of people at night and people can see them. And lastly, another one is the newspapers, and that will be targeting our older customer segments because I know I don't read the newspaper, but I'm sure moms and parents do.
So to say again, we are asking for $39,000 for 7.5% of our company. Thank you for listening. 3 out of 5 of us are very committed for next year, and 2 of us want to continue, but based on our schedules, we cannot. But thank you for listening. Thank you for all your help. We are behind with technology. Stay awake, stay alive. Thank you.
Hey, Greg, did you say that automobile manufacturers are starting to install these wheels?
Yes, sir, but we are the only aftermarket product that is able to solve this problem.
How would you install this?
It's just very simple. It's just like a regular steering wheel cover, and you just slip it over your wheel. It's just one person can do it. It's very easy.
Was Andy Gableman able to give you any direction?
He was able to point us in the competition of autonomous vehicles, but other than that, it wasn't as much a success as he.
No help in terms of manufacturers?
He
No.
pointed us towards Continental Automotive in Deer Park, who we tried contacting, but since they're such a large corporation, we kind of got brushed to the side.
You're going to need to find somebody to
Yeah.
figure that out.
What 2 are going, not going forward and what 3 are moving forward?
two are done, and then those three are. Yes.
Yeah, this is a really big problem, and it's a really interesting solution, and it's validated by Nissan fixing it in new cars, and love the idea of the aftermarket play. What I'm wrestling with is it's a product that is going to take a long time to build and design and engineer and make and
Test.
and make sure it works. And what if it doesn't work, and all of the product liability that goes along with that. So how far are you into figuring out the mechanics and the engineering behind it?
Well,
Is it-
we keep getting like different responses, so we reached out to an engineering forum who, like majority of the responses that we got on it, like suggested to use LED lights instead of electrons, so like, we're kind of like back and forth, so we do need to like do a lot of testing, as like you guys said. We haven't really,
Well, we've also been in contact with an electrical engineer at University of Michigan, and he was able to point us in the direction of the materials that we use, so the microchip and the heart rate monitors, and where that we can find those pieces, but we have been struggling with who can help us actually put it together.
I would talk to Fleet Guard. I think they're probably in the room somewhere, or a couple of them. I mean, it's just so familiar about what they're trying to do with the product and the amount of patent work you have to go through. And I think they also collaborate with University of Illinois Engineering School to help with that. So that might be a good connection that you guys
What,
made.
your breakdown of your, majority of it was for research and development. What is the breakdown of what you actually were going to spend that money on specifically?
There was,
Yeah, the 20,000 of the 39. What exactly is that?
we researched how much an engineer costs per hour, and then we just assumed that it'd be around 3 weeks all day to pay for the engineer, and then we said testing, we called the guy, I'm sorry, I'm trying to say Andy, yes. We called him and asked just like a baseline, and he was like, it'd probably be over 100,000, and we're like, oh, we probably couldn't ask you guys for that, so if we did a simple test, we said it would cost at least 10,000, so that's.
You know, you really gotta capitalize on the university aspect of things.
Yeah.
'Cause I have an engineering company, and we go to U of I, and they'll do stuff because they want to teach kids something and get really good response for basically nothing.
Well, we reached out to Northwestern, and then they never responded. And we reached out to University of Michigan, and they were like, yeah, we'll help, but we don't want to do the work. So I think that's like our biggest problem, is trying to
I think if
find
you went to
someone.
them and say you have funding,
Yeah.
it gets more attention. You're a startup that has funding that wants to collaborate with their students. I would imagine that would help.
But if you were able to get a free engineer to actually do it and write the first patent for you, because that's what you really need to start, you wouldn't need that much money for research then, if you could get it for free, right?
We just need to testing at that.
You just need to
Can
test.
you, is the Nissan product on the market now?
So if I remember right, I believe they're still in research and development aspect of it. It's not currently implemented in vehicles. The only other companies that have it are, I believe, Cadillac and then Mercedes that have the lane drift. So when I recognize you in the oncoming lane, it
Totally different technology.
Yeah, exactly. So
But the
that's-
actual measuring your heart rate,
No.
Yes,
that's what Nissan is after too?
I believe so. It was like leaked on some sort of a forum, and I read it, and
Well,
that's
I
what
would
read
make
it.
sure that you find out everything that they're doing, and
Did you guys go on the patent website, this patent office website, and search for heat monitor steel, wheel covers?
So at the beginning of the years, I looked into something similar to that. I couldn't find anything.
Well, there's only one patent office
Yeah.
with official patents.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to find anything, but that was towards beginning of the validation unit, so if anything is
You haven't done that recently, because that would be a huge factor in moving forward. If it's a simple search, then we can do for free.
Yeah, unless anything has came up, I don't believe that there is another patent out there. So
We will do that research.
I know there's another company, I believe kind of similar to ours, but his design was once you take your hands off the steering wheel cover, it just beeps, which is frankly annoying because
Yeah,
who wants that?
you're gonna,
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. But the heart monitor, it's a utility for a heart monitor. It's a use case to apply a heart monitor. Or it's going to be under steering wheel covers. But there's patent attorneys that work with us that could have do a just a preliminary patent search is nothing for a patent attorney. Or maybe you can get in touch with.
Okay, that's definitely something we're looking into in the future. Thank you.
Have you looked into like the regulations on if such an aftermarket product would even be allowed to be sold, or if it interferes with driving, and if there's steps you have to take to be able to sell something like that that attaches to the steering wheel?
Other products have been made, so like the one that the beeping and everything, and there are other ones. I saw one. It was like you attach it to your wheel. It's like a drum set. So if that is allowed, I'm sure ours is. We haven't actually looked into the regulations, but there are other products out there like it. So I would assume so. Yes.
A drum set for what?
For like if you're listening to music and you want to drum along, I guess.
What a traffic.
You mentioned that you had 260 people respond to your emails. How many did you send out in order to generate that level of response?
So we only sent out one survey, but we all shared it and Carl shared it as well. And the 260 comes from a survey that we sent out at the beginning of the year before we started our MVP. So like all those compiled together.
Do you know how many you sent? Because the 260 completed the survey. So I'm wondering how many you sent. You sent it out to something more than 260 because some people didn't complete it.
It was
Just trying to get
it was
your
just two-
engagement
It was just
rate
to
there.
Facebook.
Yeah,
it was
shared on
just
social media.
shared on
So
Facebook.
you don't know.
There is
You have to ask
not.
how
So
many
there is
How
a.
many friends we have.
collectively connects you have, but could you guess on that? If you had to estimate it?
I really can't tell you how many people
Yeah.
shared it. I mean,
Yeah.
my mom shared it, and then I don't know how many of her friends shared it. So I mean, that's kind of
Okay.
up in the air.
And then what did you ask these 260 people? And what did you
It asked like if they had the problem, which Anthony said 79% of people do. And then it also like kind of targeted like the demographics, geographics, and like what they would prefer in a product. So
Did you validate it all or ask anything around the price point?
yes,
So
we did.
how did you ask that question?
What would be your desired price point? And we listed.
You listed some or you said fill in the blank?
We
We
listed.
listed.
And what did you list?
It started at 120 and then it 150.
Yeah, they were, what was it, 120 to 150 increments.
And then most people chose the
Right,
middle.
the highest was 150?
The highest was 200 and then 150.
It's
Most
a
people
classic, if
chose
you give
150.
people free choices, they always take the
Yeah.
number
Right,
two.
right.
It's the
So-
greatest marketing scam ever.
So I know there's a, if you don't mind, there's a much larger poll of, done by Sleep in America, which had 168 million drivers in it. And then out of that survey, 60% of those drivers admitted to driving drowsy, as well as 37% actually falling asleep on it.
Yeah, no, it's huge problem. By the way, really well done. The video, the presentation, it was powerful. You definitely got that video catches your attention right away.
Totally.
And it was well done.
The remaining group, how committed are you? Well, I won't say how committed are you, because you've already said you are. But how confident are you that you will actually be able to get to the point of a deliverable product, say in a year?
100%.
I believe this is a really strong idea, and with enough work that we
Make
could
you feel
definitely.
better about why you think you're going to get through past the manufacturing and legal competition.
Well, we've been working on it all year, and I think that just that extra time would give the rest of us just like that enough push to get it really started and get it done.
For those of you who are continuing, Chicago Parts is a company you should ask questions of. parents are Barrington residents, South Barrington. Both are also coaches and mentors with our program in Elko Village. They are the high-end aftermarket company, not only in Chicago, but also Jay Leno's preferred aftermarket company. So they've got
Nice
a
comment.
staff of engineers that do
So it's called
Chicago
Chicago
Parts.
Parts?
Chicago Parts. Letterers, last.
Why do you think, why are you so confident you'll do it?
I think we have a great group, and I think we can get it done. I mean, we're get stuff done in groups, so I think we can.
We've been able to work really, really well together. We all went in pretty much only acquainted with each other, and we were able to collaborate really, really well this year. So.
By the way, the two of you that aren't moving forward, you seem totally engaged with the group, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
That it's not, you know,
So-
like, hey, we're checked out here.
Yeah, no,
Give
so
it
with
commands.
me, I'm like 55, 45, because like, I've hit that point where I'm just frustrated. So like, I don't know if I'm looking to be frustrated another year.
Hey, welcome to business.
I know.
Like, for me, it just doesn't fit my schedule, but I would hope that they succeed. Like, I would not want to, like, ruin their thing. Like, they have such a good team, so I really hope that they do get this product out, and, like, I really hope to see it sometime, so.
Awesome, great, thank you.
There you go.